Hello, everyone. Golden Hawk here, 24th degree High Priestess, founder of House of Life and creator of Ancient Powers. I started a little bit of a talk in the evening, Pacific Northwest time, on Castaneda, Sorcery, and a lot of different roads in and out on that. And hi, Kat. This is the second part, and we basically got into the fact that sorcery was always about source, and the point of fact that there are so many of us out there waking up at this point and feeling, absolutely knowing that we're locked down. And we are locked down, and we were locked down. Castaneda left his physical body locked down. His sorcerer's body is out there walking around. The greatest sorcerer known in our history was Yeshua ben Yosef, the Christos, who was taken into Egypt right after his birth and taught there, came back and tested to be able to teach in Jerusalem, and then most likely has his sorcerer's body going all over the earth still today. But the fact that we have been locked down, and we are at this point with the photon belt and moving into it, and photons have a life here, and then they have a twin energy that's pulled in, and photons are normally in 5 places at once, or 5 different fields at once, and then the twin is also in 5 different fields at once, and that perception of that, we lock it in or key it, and it becomes connected into our planes. And this was not available to Don Juan, the teacher, and it was not available to Carlos Castaneda, and we can feel it being available to us all around us, and it is available to me. I use it for unlocking the seals from the sons of the sons and the daughters of the sons, those who are being awakened, especially by the Sirius activation. Hello, Mary Lee. From the Sirius activations from the blue universe, the master universe, that's bringing in the energy that's going to allow Andromeda to twin with us as it joins our galaxy. So, and we're looking at thousands of years moving on that. And we may, well, we have real small lives, but really we don't. Really we come back. Really we have 3D bodies that are 2D bodies that once we interconnect, we have awareness with our 1D selves also. We move the 4D awareness, the 4th dimension, which is all around us. You're in connection with me through 4D right now, and we're at different levels of 4D because of the 5th dimensional piece where we can finally leap out of the closed quantum reality field, what used to be called the veils, and this is the big one that's kept us so stuck, and causes us so many problems consistently. We are definitely still connected to what has been institutionalized here. We definitely have inside our genetics great fear from the cataclysm, great fear from being hunted for our abilities, and they did. And it doesn't matter which race or which culture we come from. The split isn't about race or culture. It's about power over or power with. It's about a being of power. And there were a lot of different pieces that I had to go through in my training for the Castaneda stuff, and I studied it and worked it for like 9 years, and it was a long road. It gave me a whole lot of information. It gave me a whole lot of experiential pieces, but I knew I was running into the wall. Running into the wall. The wall he has us move, I moved. And maybe the better thing is a glass ceiling. He calls it being swallowed by the eagle. Being in the period that we're in a highly accelerated position, planetarily speaking, solar system speaking. We're highly accelerated. The last phase of the Mayan calendar has ended, and we are at the next position point where we are in the photon belt. We're out of galactic darkness. We have come forth by day, and y'all are being called home. There's been some real interesting stuff going up on numerology, and actually to tell you that it's good to know our numerology. Actually, it's one of the pieces that I suggest to people that they learn about themselves, understanding that the higher levels of numerology are connected to high math, so they're connected to the higher fields that, yay, science is giving us a vocabulary for to share, but a 4 has a direct connection with structural pieces, formation functions in 4D, which we need, and we want them in the free 4D field rather in the closed field. 5s are travelers in the old field. They're travelers in the new field too. But the functionality is in the cosmic and in the astral. The true astral reconnected through the sun, because the cataclysm broke us away from our sun. We get the light and we get the heat, and we are getting fluid codes that are starting to come through, but we're not actually connected. And if we do end up connected at this point, it will quite often bust open one of the seals, and everything in our whole lives will go haywire. Real common is the thyroid going, but if the false eye is actually removed without the structure, and it's real important, without the structure for the true eye, a lot of people think they're going nuts. And Castaneda stuff did help to a certain extent with that, but we're still hitting that glass ceiling, and we're still going back into relationship pieces with the loops. And a lot of people are, oh, I've healed this, I've healed that, peeling the onion. There's a piece where we're not really bringing our ancestors in to follow the line from our situation. So many people are cutting cords. You don't cut cords, and you need to follow them. And the ancestral pieces need to be brought in. Castaneda did bring us some good tools for that. There are better out there now. And the reincarnational pieces, I'm going to say, we had a sleeping prophet, not the same as a sorcerer, we could say, but Edgar Cayce, very, very important with this, actually, because he was connected into the Blue Lady. And if you read any of his very early stuff and how his pieces came in, it was the Blue Lady and the Lady of the Blue Star. It was connection with the Sirius Star. It was connection with the Blue Universe. It was early waves of the Andromeda Galaxy coming in. We're not just going into ascension with our sun. Sirius is moving into ascension. The whole Orion spur has to move into ascension. And that ascension piece is being caused by Andromeda being pulled in. And Castaneda did not have these pieces available to him. And I actually really hope he allows the eagle to swallow him and comes back. Because I'd love to work with him himself. But a lot of you are experiencing your abilities waking up. And you're also experiencing the shaking of all of the old structures. I know that a lot of the fears are coming up and not being so much expressed as fears, but oh yeah, they've been talking to me since I was 8, but I'm not going to tell anybody. And you need to have a place to share these things. We could say it's not fear, it's awareness that we know sometimes where not and who not to talk to these things with or about. And we need a safe place. And we're scattered. There is 0.01% of us, the sons of the sun, the children of the sun, the daughters of the sun, out of what, over 8 billion people on the planet. And that's a lot of people, but it's a tiny smattering. It's a little tiny sprinkling. And for any of us to be able to come together at all, to meet each other at all, to be able to find our teachers, the real teachers, not the ones who are going to take us through the golden dawn and go, oh, well, we're not really misogynistic and we're not really based on these closed powers, but we are. There's actually an element missing in the system. And then there's a lot of those of you out there that are experiencing the bam bam of the 1111 doorway, the 222 444 1221, which is a weird mirror flip thing, and there's a reason for it. But you look at your clock and it's that time that you look at the minutes or the seconds of what it's taken you to finish a project. Oh, it's 6:39. That's a frequency. But they're knocking on the door and you're going, I can't open it, but I know you're there. And you search and you search and you search and you move into groups and you go and you take classes and I've spent my life doing this. I have paid with my life to do this. It's what I've done all my life. And going into all of these different mystery schools, going through teaching, certifications, all of these educational programs, and the voices there are the ones that guided me. The voices there, thank goodness for myself, but 9 years with the Castaneda studies, and my shamanic practices were a lot longer. And then I went, oh my God, this is from the same field. This is all the same. It's all the same. And it's circling me around, and very, very grateful that I was past the keys. And I want to thank some of the people that are out there who were in my really early classes, who helped bring it together. People with some real intense pieces going on, and kahuna masters, native elders, psychologists and psychiatrists that came in, artists, doctors of hypnotherapy. I had people coming in, just the best of the best. And some people felt like, oh, just I had a smattering, and they're like, why am I here? A lovely Mayan priestess who didn't think she was in our league, and a couple others that were doing body healings, but they were right there with us, and they had devoted their time to emotional healing, very deep familial healings. My Mayan priestess was massive emotional healer. I had another gal who was psychopumping. Yeah, you do know who you are. Another gal who was doing living body work on people and psychopumping those who were passing, and who had keys like you wouldn't believe. for traveling in the in-between with those in-between and knew the body trigger points. She didn't think she'd mastered anything, but she had. She'd mastered it before, and she was doing it because it was what she knew how to do. She came in here with that ability. She mastered in other lifetimes. And I have to say, we were given these keys. It took a group of us to bring them in, and we did do it, and they did activate, and it changed things. But we rode out from that period, well over a decade, through the 2012 gateway, and we were moved all over, I could say the planet, the United States, but I have people, Australia, England, obviously, some others, and we rode that gateway out, really separated from each other. And I have to say, some people died, some people were actually killed. The danger is real. It has been real because we really have been hunted. And Castaneda knew that, and he knew a way out. Like I said, I hope he comes in because we are opening the other field, and they can no longer stop us. And if you're ready to unlock the seals, PM me. I'll get you the same results to your own dance as I get for my other clients and students. I love you all. I'm so glad that you've joined me, and I'm hoping a great deal more of us will be able to come together. Neferka. And it is all about the ancestors because they live inside of us.